Let me now invite our next speaker. Our next speaker will be talking about the fourth industrial revolution, creative industry, and intangible cultural heritage. Our next speaker is Lee Soosung, Manager Director of Roland Berger's Seoul office. Mr. Lee Soosung is the founding member of the Seoul office of Roland Berger since 2012, and his consulting ranges from consulting, automobile, manufacturing, energy, shipping and marine, consumer goods, retail, healthcare, as well as investor support. Managing Director Lee recently has been focusing on his expertise of strategic consulting to offer advice to companies both home and abroad, as well as government agencies on fourth industrial revolution. And he was also a part of the completion group for the fourth industrial revolution, the future that's already here of Roland Berger. A big round of applause for our next speaker, please. Yes, very nice to meet you all. As introduced, I'm Lee Soosung from Roland Berger. Because I do not have a lot of time, let me go right into my presentation. Today, I would like to focus on how ICH can be grafted with industrialization. So in other words, I want to talk about how ICH can be connected with the fourth industrial revolution and the creative industries. So let's first talk about Industry 4.0 or the fourth industrial revolution. The fourth industrial revolution, we'll have to first think about the technological enablers, which is connectivity. The third industrial revolution was on automation. The foundation was automation, and fourth industrial revolution is based on connectivity. And basically, connectivity connects the physical world and the cyber world. So physical things and cyber worlds are connected, and we call this the cyber physical system. And there are also high-level connectivity that will enable smart robots, virtual industrialization, big data, and AI. So all of these technologies of connectivity enables the fourth industrial revolution. So then, let's look at the other side of this fourth industrial revolution. When we think about this revolution, we also talk about productivity. It's about enhanced productivity. During the third industrial revolution, it was about cutting costs. In other words, it was all about cost reduction to enhance productivity. But the fourth industrial revolution is about enhancing capital efficiencies. That is the focus of the economic principle of the fourth industrial revolution. It may be a bit too detailed and it may be a bit unfamiliar for those in the cultural sector. But what I want to say is that if you want to invest in an industry, you have to look into the return on capital employed, and it has to be around 15% plus in order to make that investment decision. During the third industrial revolution, well, we can say that still many industries are living this third revolution, and we're in a transitional phase to the fourth. But there were some limitations to the third revolution, and because of that, we're talking about the fourth industrial revolution. So what kind of constraints exist? There were a lot of investments to cut costs. So mass production or standardization were also some ways to reduce the costs. And we invested in ways to do that. And that led to too many assets. For instance, Samsung Electronics would build production facilities in Vietnam, and the reason why they've moved to these centers is to reduce labor costs. So there was a lot of investments done to cut costs, but with these hefty investments or capex investments, costs did go down. However, they ended up with huge assets on their balance sheets, and with such assets, overall turnover was deteriorated, leading to inefficiencies. So the fourth industrial revolution was about enhancing capital efficiency, and that led to the advent of Industry 4.0 as mentioned. So basically, Industry 4.0 is about enhancing profitability, and the x-axis indicating capital employed and reducing such capex investments. So the profitability index and the productivity capital, when you multiply the two, added value will be canceled out and you will end up with the ROCE. So when ROCE is 15% and onwards, that's the decision made in investment. So it's about how having to increase ROCE from 15 to, let's say, 30%. So that's the economics here. So it may be a bit too complicated, but I want to talk about how this revolution can be crafted with ICH. So moving on to this new Industry 4.0 era, what kind of impact would that have on the life of mankind? So basically, in the process of Industry 4.0, we can see that there are many areas that are replaced by machine because we have to enhance productivity. Or there could be cases where things that were done manually by human beings will be done along with machines. And the third is with the advent of AI. AI can replace some of the decision-making uh, functions of the human beings. So it's not just about manual labor. Now we can see that AI may be replacing what humans did by using their brain. So it brings us back to square one of what we really want to do as humanity. So then, if we connect the Industry 4.0 with the creative industries, what kind of possibilities are out there? Creativity industries is about creating high value with relatively low capital density. So that's when we take the economic standpoint. The creative industries can help us maximize our OCE, in other words, enhance capital efficiency. And the basis of competitiveness for such creative industries is ICH, or intangible cultural heritage. So in other words, in order to maximize capital efficiencies, we first have to look into selling products and services to maximize profitability. And in order to maximize profitability, we have to think about the investments. And it's about reducing capital but maximizing profitability. And Industry 4.0 will help us do that. By using ICH, we can create content, we can create value, and we can utilize cultural heritage to reduce investments to enhance capital efficiencies. On Netflix, I'm sure that you know the very well-known contents that's hitting #1 around the world. And I'm sure that you all know of this. It hit the news. It's the Squid Game. So this is also one example of how competitive Korean contents can be when it's based on ICH. And it also enables us to maximize capital efficiency and maximize profitability. So I believe that this Squid Game example is a very good exemplar of how this can be done. So all of these games, in addition to the Squid Game, and there are also all sorts of various plays and games that are done in that content. So this could be a key contents that would create future contents. So the ICH played a pivotal role as a source for future content. So relative to the investments that went in, it has led to great profitability, meaning greater capital efficiency. So the contents that's based on cultural ICH of Korea. The reason why this was well received was because there was a platform called Netflix. This platform enabled the dissemination of such content around the world. And as mentioned, the platform is a key solution of the fourth industrial revolution based on connectivity. And because we had that platform in place, we were able to utilize our ICH to form and establish new industries. So although this content came and was produced from Korea at relatively less cost and investments, it was able to create great return, and it was very well received around the world to enhance and maximize capital efficiency. So this platform was a key enabler in the process. So then, if we want to dominate new industries, such as creative industries in the era of the fourth industrial revolution, what should we do? We're already doing a great job, but in the future, if we want to find a way to utilize ICH to create new industries, what should we do? What would be the desirable way forward? Well, first off, I think we need to visualize the path. For companies, this is called a vision. So many companies will talk about their mission and their vision. And after they visualize what they want to do in the future, you have to act upon this as quickly as possible. And only then can we own the future that we want. So how can we make our ICH into an industry and lead the world? I believe that the very first thing that we can do by using our ICH, we need to first understand or visualize what kind of business models may be possible by utilizing our ICH as contents for that industry. So once we visualize the various possible business models, then we have to take action. It could be about attracting investments. It could be also about the government supporting this endeavor to realize the vision. And only when we have the stakeholders take action can we own our future. So with that, let me conclude my presentation. Thank you.